Hello everyone, today I'm going to be creating a very simple login dialog. We're going to be using Shadcn, Tailwind CSS and a Nextjs application. It's just going to be the front end, so if you're looking for the backend and actually how to log in, take a look at my other videos. In this video we are only focusing on the front end. So let's get right into it. We're starting here with just a blank page and nothing on it. We have just went into a folder. I've opened the terminal, and what we're going to do first, we are going to start by going to Shadcn. This is no longer available. We are going to installation, first docs, installation, Next.js. Then we are going to copy this. We're going to paste it inside here. And then it's going to tell you that you have no Next.js project in this folder, so we're just going to create one. Let's just call it my app, and then it is creating the Next.js project. It's created. It asks me which style I would like to use. We're just choosing New York, it doesn't really matter. I'm taking neutral for this one. Would you like to use CSS variables? Yes. Perfect. Now we have our application. We can do npm run dev just to test that it's running. Oh, first of all, we have to go cd my app. And in here, we do npm run dev. As you see now, the server is running on localhost, so we can go back here to the browser, refresh. And you see here we have our application running. Notice this is a bit small. Let me just zoom in. Perfect. So right over here we have our application. We have all these other files. We don't have to worry about those. We have our layout and our page. The page is where we're going to be focusing in this video. First of all, we start by just deleting everything. We don't need it. We do a simple div, and we can also delete this. And then we just do a repeat tag and say test just to see if it's working. So as you see here, our localhost is actually working. Perfect. It's just to get back to what we are trying to do. You can see here we need like an input. We need labels. We need buttons. We need a checkbox. We need these icons. And we need like a card for the box. So let's just close this. And let's go back to, Shadcn. We go over here. As you see here, we have the different components. So let's start by taking the button. We just copy this, go in here, and just close this, Control C, and then just paste it in. What this does is that Shadcn installs the button in your component folder. So now you have the button with all the customizations that you want to do, so you have full control of the actual button. That's a big plus from Shadcn compared to other component libraries. And what do we need an input. Let me just search it up. Here, I can just copy this, paste it in. We also need a label. It's right here. Put it in. We will also need a checkbox. It's right here. Put it in. Another thing we need is something called framer motion. So we do npm install framer motion like this. And then for icons, we are going to be using Lucite React. So we do npm I Lucite React. Perfect. Let's see if it's running. npm run dev. We just wait. Perfect. So we go back to our page. We can close this. We do this. And then I think we just get started by doing what we want to do. First of all, because we're doing this as a page, it should probably be done as a component, but in this tutorial we're just going to be using a page. So first of all, we're going to be using some use state, so we just do use client, because you can't do use state, use effects and stuff like that when you're actually working without being a client component. So we import not React but use state. We also import motion from framer motion. We import the button that we just got from components button. We import input with a big I, of course. I can like this. We import checkbox like this. Oh, these are wrong. We need UI here. Components UI, yes. This should be better. Why is there still? We need a dash like this. Perfect. Button. This is oops. Component UI input. It's small. That's my bad. Delete this. We also want to import the label. Just like this. And then we want to import the icons that we're going to be using. We're going to be, let me just open this image again. We're going to be using an I, we're going to be using a GitHub and a mail, and then also the closed I when it's closed. So we do I of GitHub and mail from new site React. Let's see if there is any issues. It's no issue, so we can just continue. I think we can just get started. First, we're going to be creating this one for the email, so we can set the state of the email. We are going to add also for the password, and then we are going to add a const to show password like this. Perfect. Let me just double check. Yes, it's correct. And we're also going to be adding a handle submit, but we're not going to be doing that yet. But that's just for further development. If you want to continue developing on the project, then you can just like do stuff like submitting the password, use some framework maybe like Clerk or something, and then you can just get the login functionality working. But this is just the front end we're doing right now. We're going to do the first div is just like to get everything working. So we do minimum height screen, we do bg gradient to BRS, then we do from primary to primary 100. We do flex, we do item center and justify sender. Then let's give it some padding. Let's see. There's nothing yet, of course. We can just add this just to test. Perfect. Now it's centered and it will always scale to this minimum height of the screen. Now we're going to be using this motion. Let me just do like this. Perfect. So we're going to be using something called a motion div. That is going to be wrapped around all the content. The motion div, you see here, it's actually almost creating it for me. Let's just paste this in. We're going to do, instead of Y, we're going to do 20. and then the transition duration is going to be 0. That's right. We are not going to do this. We are going to do with full, with max, with medium. Perfect. So now we're actually going to be creating the content. We're going to be creating the box with the form. So first we do a div, and inside of this div we are going to do bd while. It's going to be rounded, and we're going to do shadow XL, padding of 8, and then space y of 6. So you can see here it's starting to take form. We have a small box right now. It's nothing yet, but we're getting there. We're doing another div, and this div is going to be holding the header, so the welcome back text. It's just going to be very simple, having something like text center space y of 2, and then we are going to have an h1 in here saying welcome back, and we are also going to be having a p tag. So, I don't know, something like enter your credentials to access your account. We have to do something inside of this just to give it some good look. We're going to give it text 3XL. We're going to make the font bold, and we are doing tracking tighter. Just because I like this, it just gives it such a nice, it just makes the words come closer. The class name for this one is just going to be text muted foreground. Perfect. So now we have this, then we are actually going to be making the form. The form is going to have a onSubmit, but we're not making that yet. We're just doing class name. Say space y4. Inside of here we're doing a div. Let's see, class name space y of 2. And then we are going to be actually using our Shadcn components now. We're just doing label. This is not wrong. Input needs to be closed though. This one needs to be closed, and this one needs to be closed. So let's see. The input HTML for the email. That's right. It's saying email. That's perfect. This is placeholder. Let's just do something. Test YouTube. The value is going to be the email. We're going to set it as required. So let's see how this looks. We're actually getting something now. You see we have the email, and underneath it we have this box. Let's see how this looks compared to this. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's actually pretty much the same. Let's close this. We go back to the code. Let's see if we need something in here. I don't think we do right now. So let's go to the next part. The next part, we're going to be creating another div. It's also going to be having the space y of 2. It will have a label for the password, perfect. And then we will have a div that's relative. And inside of this we have the input of the password, so we need to put some stuff in here. We're going to say ID password. We're going to say value password, and we are going to say it's required also. So let's see, perfect. We also need a button here, which is going to be the button that, let me just open this again. This I is actually a button. We're not going to be using Shadcn for this, but we are using just a normal button. So we have to say type button, of course, inside of the button. We are going to say on click set password like this. We are going to have a class name saying absolute right tree top half transform, that's right, translate and half text gray, and then let's make something hover gray 700. Let's just refresh this. Okay, so inside of here we are doing pretty much what it says right here. Let's see how this looks. So perfect. Now we have the I button so that we can show and hide the password. We didn't actually add the stuff for the password. So right, we can just, if you want to just see it, we can just will quick add a on change, something like this. Yeah, and then you just add logic for hiding the password if you click this. But now we can actually type in stuff. We could also do this to this one, so on change like this. And then we can put in stuff. Yeah. But we don't need that right now. It's not necessary for the front-end task. Perfect. Let's see where we came to. We came to the button. These divs are fine. We are now here where we want to create another div. Let's say class name flex item center and then justify between for this one. We are doing another div. Also flex item center and then do space x of 2. We do a checkbox like this, and then also like this. Perfect. If you want to know what I have installed so that I can do this, I just press tab each time it comes up with some recommendations. I have the Copilot, GitHub Copilot. It just saves a lot of time when you're doing front-end tasks, and it's just super smart. So there's no reason not to get it. I recommend everyone just to have it. It's super cheap and it just works perfect. Right here, for example, it just comes up with what we want. Not 100%, but it's really, really close. Let me just put this down here. How does this look? Is this correct? I think it's fine. So let's just keep with this. What do we need? We need now sign in or these down here. So in here we add a button, sign in button, and then we close the button. So as you see, it's just super simple. I think the Copilot understood what I want to do, so it's just super simple just to create it now. I'm sorry if I'm using the AI too much, but it's just a bad habit and it's just working so fucking smart, so there's no reason not to use it. In here we're going to be a class. Let's give it the relative. Another div in here. Absolute instead of 0, flex, and then item center. I don't know why I'm doing big divs. It's with full, that's not right. Let's see here. I don't need this. Let me just clean this up and let's see. I have a relative and then inside here we do a span. Saying or continue with, and the span is going to be of with full and border. This is not yet, so let me just remove this for now. Sorry. See how this looks. So now we have this line. I think what we do now is we copy this and put it in here. Then right here we do the or continue with. We change this so that it says PG wide pixel padding x of 2, text muted foreground, and then we change this to be relative flex justify center text of extra small and then uppercase. So let's see, perfect. As you see here now we have set the relative div inside of the absolute div for the relative div, if that makes sense. So now I think we just need the 2 buttons underneath. We do it down here. We start by doing like a grid calls of 2 and then give it a gap of 4. I have a big E here, that's not what I want to do. We can just use buttons. Let me just close it, and then in here we just do variant. It's outline. So what we actually do here is we use the button and then we take the variant and then say the outline style. You can add whatever style you want to do to this button, but it's just super smart. And I like the look of the Shadcn components as they are like really simple and modern looking. This is actually fine, we just do this. Instead of the size we do class name. Then do something like this. Let's see what it does. Unexpected div. I have a mistake here. It's closed. Let me just try to delete this. So the mistake is in here. Button. We have get. It's like this. Perfect. So now you see we have the GitHub button here, and then we just add another button saying Google, and then I think it's called mail. Perfect. And I think that's pretty much it. Do we need anything? Yeah, we actually do. We go down here, we do div, we create another class name and say text center, text sm, and then we say don't have an account, like this. Then we do like this, and then say sign up. I actually think this is fine. Perfect. So as you see, it's very simple just to create a modern, good looking dialog if you use stuff like Shadcn. And I hope everyone is going to be using it in the future, as it's just like the perfect component library, and you can modify it so much just as you want. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want me to, I can make this available on GitHub. If not, then just follow along. It's fairly quick and you can just create whatever you want anytime you want to. Thank you.